I'm going to introduce you to your pelvic floor muscles. You might never have heard of them, or you might have heard of them, especially in relation to maybe childbirth or postnatal training and Kegel exercises. Most everybody has heard of Kegel exercises, right? Pelvic floor consists of a group of muscles like any other muscle in your body as well. It has to contract and expand, and it has to have the ability to do both, to be strong, but at the same time not so tight and strong that it prevents your body from moving the way it should be moving. All right, sounds complicated, I know. We're going to use the rotator discs today. These are a tremendous tool to work on the pelvic floor, but also on many, many other things, shoulder stability, for instance, posture also. And like you can see, those are two spinning discs. So I'm going to step on those discs, and it feels in the beginning a little bit like standing on ice. So your legs and your hip muscles are really going to have to work quite hard. So I'm just going to be very careful as I first step onto them, but don't worry, you know, with practice, obviously, all of this gets easier. It's not as scary as you think. So if you find that, oh my God, my balance is tricky, I cannot do this, this would probably be just the thing for you to do, okay, to develop your balance, to prevent falling, and stuff like that, especially as we go into the colder season with snow and ice on the ground. So as you can see, when I turn my legs, I also turn the discs, right? And I'm going to hold on to this ring or magic circle just so that my arms have something to do. It helps me keep my posture nice and upright. And I resist the urge to have my hands in my hips or kind of have them dangling and then be passive. So just holding something, and it can be anything really. This is light, so it does not add any extra weight or strength for my upper body. It's just guidance so that my chest stays open, my spine stays tall. Now I'm going to start turning my heels towards each other, toes come apart, and then I'm going to rotate the other way, where the toes turn inward and the heels apart. Okay, so I'm just going to turn back and forth like that a few times. And as I'm doing that, I want you to try and feel your sitting bone, and I'm aware that you cannot follow this at home, but you can come into the studio and do it here with me, and I'll show you. But basically, if you're standing on the floor right now, just with your toes pointing forward, press your heels into the floor. And as you press your heels down, you imagine a line down the backs of the leg, like right down here, like that line on the backside of stockings sometimes, right? So imagine that line down and then, or up, I should say, from the heel up to your sitting bone. So right in that glute fold where you're just below your butt. Okay, there's a bone. When you sit, you feel a bony knob right there. That's your sitting bone. So feel that connection from the heels up towards the sitting bones. And as you press your heels into the discs or ground or floor, you feel those sitting bones reaching down as well. So the sitting bones are kind of the extension of the legs. Now, as my heels turn towards each other, my sitting bones come closer together. As my heels turn away from each other, the sitting bones come farther apart. Okay? Sitting bones together, sitting bones apart. Now that is really important so that it's not just happening in the knees, okay, but really the movement initiates from the hip joint all the way up in the pelvis. Very important distinction. That's why we keep the knees perfectly straight and don't let them bend at all. Okay, neither here nor when you turn them out. You just keep them perfectly straight, which makes the movement smaller. There is not as much of a range of motion anymore. Good. And that's really it. And just keep that awareness on the sitting bones moving apart and together. Okay, I'm just carefully going to come off these. So the reason why we're doing this is because in between your sitting bones, so imagine those two, my fingers are the base of the pelvis, right down here. As your heels come together, sitting bones come together, as the heels come apart, bones come apart, right? So there is muscles in between those sitting bones connecting those two, okay? So you strengthen them, and that's your pelvic floor. As your heels come together, you expand and you stretch them out as you turn your feet towards each other. Right? You strengthen them as you turn the heels together. You stretch them as you turn the heels apart. And that's one really beneficial exercise for your pelvic floor. I really encourage you, come on in, try it out. Many practitioners forget about the pelvic floor when they treat issues like sciatica, sacroiliac joint pain, sometimes knee problems, or any other hip pelvis related problems. Okay? So I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.